Hello friends, welcome to the video number 10 for the Visual Basic for Applications in Excel series. And in this video we're going to be talking about the scope of the variable. Um, Here I have a very simple example just to try to show what is this scope of a variable. Now the first thing you will need to notice here is that I have this option explicit right here. If you don't have it, you can automatically activate it. Just come here to tools, options, and then make sure this require variable declaration is selected. So every time you start a new module, this option explicit is gonna appear automatically, and it means that you gotta you're gonna be forced to declare any variable that you're gonna use in your code. I highly recommend that you do this. It's gonna save you a lot of headaches when you are typing the name of your variable. It's pretty common to make typos, so later in your code it's gonna be a mess. If you have this option explicit, it's gonna be much simpler and easier for you. So now, well, as you can see, I have here like a main subroutine that it's gonna be calling the second subroutine, which is example 01, and then the second or the third subroutine, I'm sorry, which is the example 02. So let's try to run this, and well, it's telling me that the variable is not defined. That is precisely because I have this option explicit. So okay, let me reset the project, and well, let's just declare this. Let's dim my number as integer. Okay, so I am declaring that I'm gonna be using a variable and I want to name it my number. Okay, I have my number also in this other subroutine. So let's come to the main subroutine and run this, and then it's telling me again, well, you can see it passed the first subroutine. It's already writing the number 7 in A1, but then it's telling me again that the variable is not defined. Well, that's precisely the scope of the variable. If I am declaring this variable inside of this subroutine, it can only be seen, used, read, or modified inside of this subroutine, unless I actually pass this to this subroutine, but as a parameter. We haven't gotten into that. We're going to see that, I think, in video number 31. So right now I'm just keeping this variable inside of this subroutine. So if I try to use again a variable, or let's say I'm trying to reassign a value to my same variable, this subroutine is not going to be able to see this variable right here in the other subroutine. So what I need to do here, let me reset the project. Well, I basically need to declare it again. I'm gonna be a little bit lazy and just copy and paste. So let's try this again. Whoop, I'm gonna be here. There we go. So now both subroutines are working fine. Now there is another thing that I could do. If I am very sure and certain that I want these both subroutines, or maybe even more subroutines, to access the same variable, to read from it, to modify it, we can create what is known as a global variable. So I'm just going to comment these two lines. Okay, if I try to run it again, I'm going to get the same issue, right? Okay. So the only thing we need to do is declare the variable, but outside of any subroutine, just at the beginning of the program, just below this option explicit, just declare your variable right there. You can see it's grouped with the option explicit. So these are kind of properties, let's say, for your entire module. So now all the subroutines that you are be declaring here in this module, they are going to have access to this variable. So let's try to run this again. And well, let me just erase this. There they are. So now both subroutines are being able to see this variable because it's declared outside as a global variable. Now this might seem to be pretty convenient, but well, just think a little bit about it. It can be kind of dangerous if you are not careful and you have many subroutines accessing your same variable. Again, if you are not very careful and you're not very sure of what you are actually doing, you can have some unexpected results, or even bad things can happen in your code, in your program. So just try to avoid as much as you can using global variables. Again, just in case you are very, very sure of what you are doing and that you actually need many subroutines to have access to the same variable. Or the other thing we can do, but again, you're gonna have to wait a little bit until video 31. We're gonna see how to pass, if I declare this variable in here, how to pass that value to another subroutine, use it, and then come back to this subroutine that called the other one. And well, that's basically it about the scope of the variable. You can have, let's say, a local variable inside of a subroutine, or a global variable that can be accessed by many subroutines inside of your module. And well, I think that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you find it useful. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video. And well, thanks all of you for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.